Hey everybody, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to the new Efraim, Levy, and RZ show. Schmooze. Come schmooze with your friends. Okay.
Yeah, it's a spontaneous show. We've known each other for a while, and we're both very involved with the Shidduch world, and we want to help people out. We're going to hit some topics today, including letting you know about some upcoming events from our respective organization. RZ is the master of the Shidduch Project, and I work with Singles4Singles, and we're going to discuss some topics, and hopefully, future episodes will have you asking questions, and we'll be responding to them.
We're so excited. This is real. This is live. We're really just going to be discussing real issues that are that I feel like everybody just wants to talk about and address in terms of dating, which we can relate when we're experiencing ourselves. So let's do it.
So, RZ, what do you think one of those really big issues are?
Um, in terms of dating.
Yeah. Why is there a Shidduch crisis, as people call it?
Okay, so that's a very broad life. It's a very big question. Um, so I will say that I have some theories on the whole concept. I'm a very spiritual person. Um, I do think this is also just part of a greater plan, and a lot of people are just meeting their soulmates in different ways right now in these times. And that's really why I'm doing and when you're doing what you're doing because we're trying to connect B'nai Israel during these interesting, sometimes not even easy, difficult times. And I think it's so important. I think these events are important. Um, I think the whole woke culture is actually affecting us. Let's just talk about that. We'll talk about the woke culture. Um, a lot of things from our society. I think it is social media. I think there's so many factors going into it. But having said that, in the end of the day, I think it's very important that people are just open and ready to explore new things and step out of your comfort zone. And that's really what we're trying to do by bringing people together with these
So New
events.
Yorkers should go to New Jersey, and New Jersey should go to New Yorkers. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm just so impressed with when at these events with my last Shabbaton, um, you
That's
know,
the Batman one.
yeah, it was so, I had a good time. I had a really great time. It
She
was
was a
pretty
Cape
cool.
Crusader there. She and her partner in crime,
Yeah,
Dr.
Baruch
Shani
Hashem.
Ratzker.
Well, that's what we try to do. We try to ch have, change things up. We try to create these fun themes because, that's what it should be about. We should be having a good time. And I try to get a little creative and I hope everybody has fun. So yeah, the last Shabbat's we had, thank God, we really had people that came from all over the country. We had people that came in from Washington, D.C., who in from Kansas and California. And that's wonderful. And this is great. And thank God, this is what it should be about. And people should, it's a great thing when people are coming and stepping out of their comfort zone. And, I think we've seen, thank God, so many success stories coming out from it. It's not always about just reading a resume or just having very similarities. You can look at a resume and it doesn't mean anything. I think that it really when you're coming in person and you're meeting people in a very organic way, an organic setting, and you're putting down your phone, and that's why I make these events on Shabbos because your phones are not on you. Then I think it really allows you to step out of your comfort zone and experience something that like the unexpected.
I totally agree with, meeting someone in person is so different from when you look at a resume or hear the
Mhm.
information, because
Yeah,
then, you're getting a personal picture of, of who they are because you're talking to them, not what was put in a format. Sometimes these formats are not very good, not meaningful. I often have said that I feel like sometimes I've seen profiles that I know more about the brother-in-law than I know about the girl herself,
exactly,
of what
exactly,
she's into and
exactly.
what she's like, what she's about. when you meet someone,
Correct.
there's stuff that you have on your list, which hopefully shouldn't be so big. The better, the more you
That's
shrink that
correct too.
list.
That's what we should discuss. Let's discuss that because very often, I don't know about you, when I'm coming across my singles that are coming to our events, people have these very large expectations and these very big lists. And I think that's great, but when it comes down to it, in the end of the day, um, is that really realistic? So can we discuss that?
Well, I think that's part of the
Yeah.
problem that's going on
Yes.
is those lists are too big or maybe
Yeah.
not big but unrealistic, and
I mean, there's no perfect person, right? There's no perfect person. There's no perfect scenario.
it's not always
And
about being perfect. Sometimes you're looking, people are looking for certain things.
yeah.
We recently talked about someone, we won't mention a name. They might want someone that may say they want someone who's Sephardi, and
Hmm.
they're entitled if that's their criteria, because if they're not going to be happy, then it doesn't matter that it's right on paper or that the rabbi, the rebbitzin, whoever it is, loves the person and the parents love the person. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But people have to cut down that list. They were entitled to have certain non-negotiables, but you can't have a list of like she has to be blonde with rare
Absolutely.
exceptions, or they
Mhm.
have to have this career or something like that. But I find really that get back to the thing about when we do events is we get to meet a person, not a resume, and you throw
Yes.
out so many of the people. I'll tell you the first time
Hmm.
well, that I became more comfortable with dating someone who has children already, not someone still married with children, but someone who's divorced or widowed, and was by meeting someone at a Shabbaton, and
Hmm.
someone told me, "Oh, the girl, she has a kid." I said, "You know what? If if it works, you know, between me and her, then I'll worry about the kid
That's
and
fantastic.
and, and that connection. But first, it's
Hmm.
got to work between you and the other person, and then you
Absolutely.
take it
That's
one
what it's
step at a
about.
time. And
You couldn't
now
have
I'm
said
more
it better.
open to it. I'm more
Hmm.
open to even someone with multiple kids under certain circumstances. We're going to not go into all my preferences now,
Hmm.
but the point is, when you meet someone, you throw it out. I can tell you another story about years ago. I was at a
But you just said
Shabbaton.
it. Basically, what you're saying is that it's about the connection, correct?
Right. I'll tell you, there was someone who was telling me
Agreed.
that there was someone who she was from Lakewood looking for
Hmm.
someone yeshivish. And at that
Hmm.
Shabbaton, there was one guy there that I actually warned my friends about because of maybe my biases, but he came very late for davening, was talking in shul, and I just let some single friends know. Again, I don't, maybe I shouldn't have, and I didn't tell the whole world.
Okay.
Anyhow, I ended up going out with this girl, but I wasn't yeshivish for her enough for her, and I'm not yeshivish. I wear a hat on Shabbos and do certain things, and that may be considered yeshivish, but
Hmm.
I'm much bigger and broader than that. I don't like the boxes. Ended up she married this other guy, and the way he wore and what he did, because she connected with him, whatever reason it was. That's my point about that. So people throw out a lot of stuff once they meet someone, once there's a certain chemistry.
And I think that's the whole thing that basically, um, I'm really, hoping and praying for our community and our friends that they need to see that. They need to see the beauty of just, it's okay. You can let down your guard, step out of your comfort zone and allow just things to happen naturally and to flow because you really never know who you're going to wind up connecting with.
Yep. While we're on that topic, we might as well
Mhm.
put in the plug before we forget about some upcoming events that we have. I'm running a Singles for Singles event on December 8th in Kew Garden Hills for
Mhm.
singles in their 30s and 40s. It's going to be for, again, this
It's
one,
going
we
to be
have
great.
certain criteria besides the age. We have guys, kovei itim, that they learn a certain amount of day. We don't, a certain amount on a regular basis, that Torah learning is important. We don't say exactly how much because might be in medical school or whatever it is. You can't learn every day then. You can't, but there's a certain amount that you put a chashivas and importance on Torah learning. And the women who plan to cover their hair after marriage, we're not saying how much they're covering either. That's a different thing to be determined, but we do say that they wear skirts and dresses only for this event. Other events we've had with different criteria and different openness and different ages and different demographics. To register, send your profile to singles4singles@gmail.com. That's SINGLES, the number
Mhm.
4, SINGLES. gmail.com. And so that's an event that I have coming up soon. I know you think you have something in February or earlier.
Amir Hashem, yes. But first off, I just want to say how excited I am about your event. And it sounds great, it's a schmooze and like a nice speed dating mixer. So kol hakavod, really looking forward to that.
And I'm hoping you'll be
Um,
attending. I
God
know one
willing,
of the
I mean,
conditions is that I can get you a ride. So anyone coming from New
ride and weather
Jersey, especially
permitting, I'm
Teaneck,
there.
let us know so that you can take
Always.
RZ with you.
Uh, Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm such a fan. So yeah, God willing, we're making looking forward. We're heading to Highland Park, Edison, New Jersey, February 2nd, Bizra Hashem. We're collaborating with the community of Edison, and I'm really excited about that. And I think we're gonna do something very different and special, and I hope something gonna be a lot of fun and unique. And stay tuned. More
Well,
details to
RZ,
come.
just so you know, RZ is the Energizer Bunny. She goes from one event to another, not just Shabbatones, but she does, let's say, Shabbos events, evening events. I think you usually do for something for Hanukkah, don't you?
So I was thinking about it, but quite honestly, we're so back to back with Shabbatonim this year that I don't know I can quite stick it in. We'll have to see. Perhaps trying to see if we can do it. I would like to,
You
but
wouldn't surprise me
Baruch
if all of
Hashem,
a
we're
sudden
really
a week
actually we're
beforehand you
we're
announced
booked
it.
right now, back to back for month to month. So I mean, Baruch Hashem, we already just booked, Congregation Arena again for Purim, and we're
Yay.
excited about that. And that's a very special theme coming up. So I don't want to give away too much, but so stay tuned. And yeah, a lot of good things we're working on.
So RZ, I
Excited
think we
about.
were on a good topic beforehand, but it just changed up the pace right now, and maybe
Mhm.
in a different
Yes,
episode we'll come back.
sure.
Yeah, for singles who are in the 30s and 40s and beyond,
Hmm.
have been dating for a while. So, how since you started dating, how do you see that things have changed in the
Yes.
marketplace?
Okay. So I have a very I'm a romantic. I have a very organic way of viewing things in terms of relationships and my dating life. I really believe that some of the most beautiful things in life can be the unexpected. In terms of how things have changed, it's a very broad question.
You can answer it how you want to. You can
Okay, thank
narrow
you.
it
Thank
down.
you. Yeah, I'll just tell you from what I'm experiencing and what I like to see more of. I just think, first off, I want to say I'll go back to I'm a romantic. I'm a very big believer. Nobody knows who Hashem has in plan, who their true zivug, who their true soulmate is. I've been surprised myself, some of the people I've been connected to and found myself close with over the years. Um, and allowing that to happen because of my vulnerability, allowing myself to be vulnerable. So I think that that's a very important thing, a very important factor. It's okay, to let down your guard and to make yourself vulnerable. And and the more you do let down your guard, you're allowing good things to come in, Mir Hashem. Um, so I invite everybody to do that because I've actually really, thank God, been blessed to experience and see some really great things from just allowing the unexpected, step out of your comfort zone. I'm also a very big believer that not everything has to be so standard. Um, you know, Opposites do attract. I'm actually a very big believer in that. Both my siblings are married to wonderful people. They're not from the same background. My older sister is married to a Satmar Chassid for almost 30 years. They just fell in love. Nobody knows, again, what Hashem has in store and where true love can be found. Um, so I wanted to say that. I'll put that out there. Um, yeah, I think it's important. I think people need to let down their guards and just allow the unexpected to happen, to flow, because I think the more they do that, they are actually allowing Hashem's greater plan to work and to come through. That's really how it should be. We should not be controlling uh God's greater plan. Let things just happen the way that they should. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I've seen changes, both good and bad.
Hmm.
I'm going to focus this time on the positive. I think
Okay.
technology has helped so much,
Hmm.
whether from the dating sites of Soyuz, Sinai, and the others, and the fact that Zoom during Corona allowed people to meet without having to be in
Yes,
person and to cross distances. That's really the big picture. Like, 'cause now
absolutely.
you can meet someone from all over. It's easier to get that first date because you meet someone over the internet first, and you can have a, whatever format, whether it's Zoom or FaceTime or whatever you want to use, you can get a little bit more of a flavor than just talking on the phone with someone. And now they have the Corona crush, just in case people don't know, and we don't get compensation for this or from
Hmm.
anyone.
Yes,
But the Corona Crush has free events just about every month, or even less than faster than
I
the
wasn't
month.
aware. That's so good to know.
It's there's one, I think, December 3rd. You'll have to look at, just Google for Corona Crush, but like,
Okay.
you give your credit card just in case you don't show up, they'll charge you. But otherwise, it's a free event. You can meet 7 people within an hour. You put in your criteria, what you're
That's
looking, a little bit
awesome.
about
Well,
yourself.
Kolika to them. That's amazing.
So,
And that's
you
what we're
do it from the
talking
comfort.
about.
You do
That's
that from the
that's
comfort of
awesome.
your own home.
That's incredible.
So, and then if you want to date someone from far away, you know,
Hmm.
you can have a few Zoom dates and then hop on a plane one way or the other.
That's fantastic. Okay, and what else have you been experiencing? I just want to, I know, just because we'll reverse the mic. From your experience, the past few years, what is something that you've been coming across a lot in your dating life, your dating experience that you'd like to discuss?
One thing I've noticed between me and my friends is that for example, when I was in my 20s, I rarely experienced like what we call ghosting, that people don't show up, don't act nicely.
Hmm.
Um, that I once had someone who was complaining to me. She was divorced and she was going on a trip, and she said, "Oh, I'm never going to get married um, again." And so she was going away. So we had this gap between when we went out. When she came back, I think she went international. Um, I called her up and she said, "Who is this?" She didn't even remember. Like, there's someone worried about dating, and meanwhile, she's not there for the dating. And I find that there's people aren't. You have to be friendly with other people, even if you're, at our events. Be nice to someone, because I've made a shidduch with one of my shidduchim is through someone who we went on a date. We were totally not for each other. Nice person, but hashkafically not there. And I ended up setting her up with a friend of mine who I thought was more scuffically appropriate, and they're married with kids,
Hmm.
a number of
That's so
kids
so
now.
wonderful. Kolikovo, that's amazing.
But if she had been not nice
Mhm.
to me, then I'd say, well, I'm not going to set you up with someone if you're not a nice person. Yeah, this you can be down the
Mm.
list and give the benefit, this is one off, but like, I really
Mhm.
believe in the thing about how you treat a waiter in a restaurant,
Yes,
and
yes.
people are not important. Like, if they're not treating them nice, then when you're not convenient for them, they might not treat you nice. And I saw someone at a Shabbaton who wasn't so nice, and she admitted that she wasn't so nice, that some guy who came over to talk to her, and she just turned her head, and I thought that was incredibly rude. And I saw that played out with more than one person. That you know talk to, I respect people who, like, if I come over and walk to talk to a girl or a woman, and you're not interested, talk to me for a few minutes, ask me a question back and forth, and then excuse yourself. That's it. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm going to get a drink. I'll be right back." I know you're not
Hmm.
going to be back. Even if you're not, your words should mean something, and be nice. Because even if you're not for me, I've met
Absolutely.
you, now I have a chance to set you up.
You know, Efraim, I'm so first off, just want to say I'm so sorry you've been experiencing that, but I also am so glad you're touching on it because for some reason,
I'm
I
giving you the
don't know why.
exceptions. I just want you to know these are exceptions.
Yeah.
But
No, I hear you. You know, it's a really big shame. People, it's probably one of the reasons why some people, I guess, are not married because, they still have to work and grow on things. And I don't really know why, but it has become a thing that some people are doing this ghosting. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's something I've experienced myself. Um, I don't fully understand the psychological. I don't understand what every situation is different. We can't judge. We don't really know what different people are going through and why I guess they would do it. But for some reason, it is, I hate to call it, is it a thing? I mean, it's a shame. I think we should talk about it a little bit. So, um, I think that when people are doing that, and if they're not, and they're this whole ghosting thing, again, I don't fully understand it psychologically, but I guess there could be many different factors behind it. Um, Maybe someone's putting up a guard. We don't really know. Maybe
I think maybe
somebody
what you
is.
talked about before about the cultural, that
Exactly. Or
people
the
just,
woke culture. I don't know if it's causing
I
that.
don't know if it's
Could
woke
be.
specifically, but like
Yeah.
the disposable culture.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So yeah, I can't really say because I guess every person's situation scenario is different. But I will just say this for my personal feeling on it. That the more because I think it is a form of control. I don't know. Like it's definitely something that I think that we have to realize that, anytime that we are doing something, I guess, in that way, or controlling a scenario and situation, we are actually taking away, we are actually saying that we don't have faith in our creator and his plan. So in my opinion, it's actually a lack of amuna. It's kind of like saying, I don't have faith in the plan of Hashem and God, and therefore I'm going to control it. And that's really, I think that that's something people should think about going forward. And you should allow God's plan to play out and try to let go a little bit, put down your guard. It's okay. And let things flow naturally. You never know what could happen next, unexpected. So um, it's just my personal thought.
I'll tell you the other, so another positive type of thing that this did happen to me this past week. Someone I went out with it very seriously more than a decade ago contacted me with a couple of shidduch ideas.
Hmm.
We hadn't been in touch at all, and I had always respected this person for midos and other traits, and it didn't work out between us, but it almost
Hmm.
did. And here was, you know, she told me she thinks about me for shidduchim from time to time, but like this was the first time she reached out. The shadchan said, "Why don't you go to him directly?" And so like that, those are amazing type of people, and that's why when between I tried to set her up at one point too before she got married, and so this person actually married with kids now, and out of the blue reached out to me. So, but one more topic for today, I think, and that
Okay.
is dealing with shadchanim. Do you have any comments of anything you want to say, or would you like me to start with some thought?
Sure. Sure. Yes. Um, I think it's important that if you're dealing with shadchanim, well, first let me just say from my perspective as a matchmaker, I'm only a matchmaker and setting people up if I sincerely think of a match and a couple. So that is how I'm going about doing my, matchmaking when I'm doing it. If you're a matchmaker and you're out there and you're doing it for other reasons, and if it's about becoming famous or becoming a celebrity and making money and profiting off of it, I do think that this culture is becoming a little lost. Like I feel like what is this really about? Sometimes I really am questioning a lot of the things that we're seeing, the people we're going to are that are guiding us. I am feeling like that. I think like who is sincere? What's really real? What's going on out there,
Well, I
Like what's
find the
real?
most of the ones
Do
that are
you
most of the people I deal with.
I'm just being really candid. I'm being really
Well, that's
candid.
that's what this is about. And
Mhm.
firstly, it's an appreciation for the shadchanim, and most of them are not professionals. These are people trying to
That's what
help.
I'm feeling as well. There are a lot of people that are saying they're calling themselves matchmakers and they're not actually even matchmakers. And, it's so funny because, Baruch Hashem, like I'm just saying, just be doing this and amongst our peers and friends. And I've had matchmaker people that told me they're matchmakers and they call me and they say, "Oh, I'm a matchmaker." I said, "Oh, so that's nice. So I don't like tell me about the matches you made." I haven't made any matches. But they're calling themselves
No,
matchmakers. And
I
I think
haven't
that
had
that is
that
something that,
experience. Usually they're calling out. Usually they say I'm not a
Mhm.
matchmaker, but I have an idea. I said everyone, and I'm saying
Okay.
everyone's a matchmaker, and I appreciate that people reach out. Some people are harder to set up than others, and some people are
Hmm.
easier. Um, I sometimes find it hard to set up certain people because of the pickiness factor, whatever level
Hmm.
it is. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm guilty in what I'm looking for too. Although
Oh, absolutely.
that's
I'm guilty
part
as
of the
well.
equation.
Yes.
But I think there
I'm
has to
guilty
be
as
an
well.
appreciation for what shadchanim do because it's a lot of effort,
Mhm.
and some of them do more than others, whether helping push the shidduch progress further if it needs to be, or just coming
Hmm.
up with the idea. And like people should get back to it's back to that ghosting issue. I think there's more of today's culture. People don't get back.
Right.
Like, yeah,
Right.
once in a while something can slip. You can get a message at the wrong time, and then you don't get back right away. But another thing I'm an advocate is I had a dating
Hmm.
rule, still exists. Within 24, it's called the 24-hour rule. Within 24 hours after we meet, whether I asked the girl out directly, whether it was set up by a shadchan or something like that,
Hmm.
then uh, I get back to the person of shadchan. I don't think it's right to leave someone hanging, whether if I'm interested or not. You know, get back to them. And then that's the same thing with shadchanim. And if you shadchan is setting up an idea, and my personal preference is to go to the guy first, but like if
Hmm.
the girl says
Well, by the
no,
way, I do that.
let me
Can I just
know.
say,
Let
I
the girl
agree.
let me
I
know.
agree.
Don't get
I
just,
agree.
oh, she wasn't interested. Oh, I'm waiting to hear back. I don't want to say yes to someone else if I'm waiting for this one that I think has a possibility.
Hmm.
So, shadchanim have an obligation to singles. Singles have an obligation to shadchanim. It's an ecosystem that's not perfect, but it's the one we got.
Yeah, I agree. So it's a partnership. It goes hand in hand. That's really absolutely true, Efraim. I think it's really well said. But I will also just go back to what I was saying that it's also not a business. It shouldn't be about being just a business. It should be sincere. It should be real. And it shouldn't just be about parnasa and money. People should be sincerely doing this. It's a real thing. It's a real chesed. There's so many people to help. And
But
that's
but
all. Yeah.
people are entitled to do it as a quote unquote business, like, or get paid for it. And it shouldn't be just as business, but like if they're making the opportunity, it's not the worst thing either. It depends how it is. Like, but over the years, I've heard people sign up with a shadchan, pay a fee, and then they
Hmm.
never hear from them again. So one thing I don't
Right.
do
Well,
is
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about, just being careful, making sure that, you're working who are people sincerely trying to help you. That's yeah.
and at
I,
events, at events, and I think we got to wrap up shortly. But
yes.
the shadchanim should, if someone people should get back, they're interested in someone, they should get back to the shadchanim or however they're going to do it, and or directly to someone. They should get back. They should get back. They shouldn't have to be chased by the shadchanim. On the other hand, the shadchanim should be responsive and like when someone calls up and says they're interested, do your best. It could take time to reach the second or third party or whatever it is, but realize there's people on the other end, both directions, shadchanim and singles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be considerate.
Well, RZ is always considerate. She's always thinking of other people, and she took her time out of the day so that we can talk. And we look forward to talking again. But we'd like to hear from you about what you'd like us to talk about possibly next
Oh
time. I
yeah.
guess one way we could do it, either my email for this would be singlesforsingles at gmail.com. Singles, the number four, singles at gmail.com. Or
Send
if
us a
you want to do it
note.
to RZ, you can give a
Hmm.
number thing, or we just use it through Singles for Singles.
Sounds good.
Have a wonderful
That's a
day,
wrap.
and Hatzlacha, looking to hear more about more simchas from everybody. And that's a wrap.
Amen. In Klal Yisrael.
Bye
You're the
bye.
best. Always a pleasure.